Hello guys, first thing I want to do is apologize for the length of time in between this video and the last video that I made. I don't know if any of you all experienced this, but there's this funny thing called life that we're all living, and sometimes life gets pretty hectic. And sometimes you got to organize your priorities. And I don't want to say that YouTube hasn't been a priority, but it's not anything that I depend on for a living or anything like that, so the YouTube videos have kind of fell to the bottom. Since school started back, I've kind of just been taking some time to just enjoy some things. But I was able to get some footage that hopefully you guys will enjoy in the later part of this video. But the first part of this video, first off, I just want to thank each and every person who has subscribed, each and every person who's liked the videos. I have kids come up to me at school that say they love the videos. I have people that message me on Facebook that I'm not even friends with that have seen me either on like Rakings or somewhere like that. So I really appreciate each and every person who cares about this channel. I also want to thank all the people that I've become friends with through YouTube. Yes, I've actually made a couple friends, and that's pretty awesome that you can find somebody halfway across the country and become friends with them. And one thing I have noticed about just social media in general, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you got and whatever you want to call it, they want to do a lot of conforming. They want you to be like everybody else. And with this YouTube channel, I'm not going to conform to anybody. I am who I am. And one thing that you'll notice if you've ever met me in person or you know me in person, I'm the same on this YouTube channel as I am out in public. And I feel like a lot of people in today's world and today's society really struggle with their self-identity. This quote by a guy named C.S. Lewis. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of any of his writings or not, but one of my favorite authors of a lot of good quotes. And the quote is, in order to understand ourselves, we must fully understand who God is, because we are rooted in Him. And that's a big thing. We've got to understand how God sees us and what God wants us to be and how He wants us to act in order to truly find ourselves. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get to it. We got the rig ready. Old Davy's still putting in some work for me. Got my 311 ready and got my Agway accumulator. Now, these are good. I know I've mentioned this in the videos previously. The only issue that I'm having is it does not like turns. Another thing is, like, if you're coming through a curve and the first bale gets in there, it doesn't really want to trip the arm. So the biggest thing about these is you have to watch these to make sure they're loading in correctly, because if they don't load correctly, you'll end up spitting out a pack of 5 or a pack of 6, and it just makes it kind of a hassle whenever you try to load. But for the money I've got in this one, it definitely beats picking it by hand, and it definitely beats the Accumul8 that I did have. So let's go ahead and let's get our little Ford hooked onto the rake, and we'll see if we can get some raking footage for you. So here's my little 601 and my new Holland 57. Now, you've probably heard me say this is my grandpa's tractor, and you probably think, well, I bet his grandpa probably bought it new. Well, he actually didn't. Here's a neat little story. My grandpa had actually bought a new, either 2000 or 2600, I can't remember what it was, but there was actually a tornado that came through back in the 80s. And what happened was the tractor was in the hallway of the barn, and how all the barns around here used to be built was on top of rocks. The tornado picked up the barn enough to scoot it, and the tractor just flipped on the inside and tore it up pretty good. So my grandpa ended up selling it, ended up buying this tractor. So my grandpa's had this tractor since the 80s. I got it when I was probably 13 or 14, and it has been just a super good little tractor. Not had to do hardly anything to it. We did 12-volt it, which I recommend to anybody that's got one of these. Now you may be asking about the rake. Where'd it come from? The rake was actually bought off a little old lady in a town called Bean Station. Her husband had bought it, and I'm going to say that they probably bought it new. There's a sticker somewhere on it. I can't exactly remember which side. Right here it is. And the sticker says, just barely, WW Implement Sales, Greenville, Tennessee. So I'm going to say they probably bought this rake new. I always wanted to pick up a rake, so I finally bought one. Do I like it? Yes. There's only one disadvantage that all roller bar rakes have. All roller bar rakes, they do like to twist or ribbon the hay in thick hay, but other than that, it's been a super nice little rake. I do have a little flat tire, though, that we need to take care of. So I'm tripling up these windrows. This time of year, you're not really looking for quantity, you're looking for quality, and that's the goal we're going for today. It's pretty much about all blades. There's a few stems here and there. I don't use any prowl or any pre-emergent. If you don't know what a pre-emergent is, it's something you spray before the actual grass comes up. So there is just a hair bit of foxtail in here. Nothing as bad as what some places I've seen. Some places, I mean, it's just eat up with it. So hopefully me mowing it down and kind of keeping control on it is actually kind of keeping it from spreading. I think one of the worst things for foxtail is just bush hogging it. You bush hog it and all the seed heads fall right back down and you're not picking any of it up. But I guess it's a double-edged sword, because if you mow it and put it up, wherever you feed at is going to have foxtail too. But I believe I'd rather have foxtail in my pasture than in my hayfield. Got my dad rolling up on scene now. As you may have seen from that last clip, they're pumping them out pretty quick. Third cutting like this is real easy to get them super heavy. That right there is about 40 pounds. So yeah, they're pumping them out quick, but you start getting them tight and then they end up getting to be about like 60, 70. And that's really not what people want. So I think we're gonna go with that. chest mount or my head mount on my GoPro. It's a little difficult doing it one-handed, but it'll work. Now with these grapples like this, they've got a side on them. You only keep one side at a time to do that right there. You're able to turn into it and tighten up the stack. If you don't tighten up the stack, it makes a mess trying to stack it up in the car. I really want to do a review video on this tractor, and I probably will when everything kind of slows down. I've had it for over a year now. There's things I like about it and there's things that I don't. There's definitely more likes than don'ts, but I don't know if anybody's interested in tuning in. This video may be for you. Now I really wanted a 4630 or 5030 New Holland, but if you guys know anything about those tractors, they're like gold mines when you find a nice one, and I actually gave less for this tractor than what they want for one of those with the same amount of hours. And this tractor is a 2006 model, and yes, I know it's not a Ford, but it seems to have done me really well so far. Now I've just got this rigged up on my hydraulic remote, pulling back engages the hooks. This is the one we've been looking for, last one. This field done better than what I thought it would. It made 239 bales, I think. Which isn't really bad. 239 bales on about 6 acres, so it done okay. Wouldn't care one of these days, I don't know, maybe way in the future, to maybe put this big field in alfalfa. I know alfalfa is a very big investment and it's a lot harder to maintain than grass, but I don't know, I've always kind of wanted to fool around with some of it. Drop a comment below if you think that, 5 or 6 acres worth of alfalfa is worth fooling with. May or may not be, I don't know. I know you can cut the stuff about 3 or 4 times a year. I'll set you up here on the bracing, get you one last cool view for the video. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. Even though it's not, pure grass or anything like that, it's about all blade. So, not bad third cutting, can't complain. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If y'all like it, please give me a like, please give me a subscribe. Once again, apologies for the lateness of the video or for the span. Life's been pretty busy. But anyways, hope y'all have a blessed day, alright? Take care.